We appreciate not only the track time here for our first laps in the new Corvette Daytona prototype from GAINSCO, but also get a few minutes to have a press conference, and we appreciate the media spending time to be with us. It's out of the bag now who will be our third driver. We're happy to have Mamo Gidley here, so I'm not stealing the announcement from Bob Stallings. Mamo's next to Bob, that's our team owner Bob Stallings, Alex Gurney next to him, and John Fogarty. Bob, talk a little bit about it. Jimmy Johnson has a spot on this team whenever he wants to come back, but he's got some home life he's going to take care of over the next month. So talk a little bit about our great plans to continue the good tradition here.
Sure. Well, first of all, we're really excited to be here this year for all kinds of reasons. We've been close to winning this thing. We were second, and I think if we hadn't had a boo-boo, just like everybody else, I think we would have ended up winning that year. But we're really excited about this year. We're also, really excited about having this new Corvette. It's a beautiful car. It looks racy as hell. We got the car on the track as sort of a shakedown test at Texas World Speedway last week for 2 days. All three guys had a chance to get in the car. I actually wanted to take it around, and Kyle wouldn't let me get in the car. I was afraid I might mess it up because we didn't have any spare parts. But one of these days, I'm gonna get in the car. Normally, Jimmy Johnson is here with us. He ran 5 years with us, and JJ and I talked around the middle of the year, and he said, look, chances are pretty good. I haven't made my final decision, but I might have to take 1 year off. So I got a little baby, and I've been pretty pressured with all the stuff going on. And as soon as JJ told me for sure in between Phoenix and Miami that he wasn't going to make it, I immediately thought of this guy over here. You may know that we have an affinity for having kind of an all-American team. All-American drivers and all the people that are involved in our operation are American. There's nothing against anybody else. We just kind of like the American angle. And we've all known Mamo for quite some time. All of us are originally from California. Mamo's from California. He's a terrific race car driver. He's very fast, agile, really smart on the track. Kind of keeps it on the asphalt part of the track, and that was really important to us. And honestly, I've always thought about having Mamo in the car, and I called him. Luckily, he was available, and we're real excited about having Mamo here. He's a terrific addition to our team. But we're looking forward to the 50th running, and maybe this is our year.
Mamo, no shortage of experience in Daytona prototypes. You actually you won a race back in 2005, the first race at Mexico with Michael McDowell in O'Reilly with BMW Power. First win for BMW, actually. How good would it feel if you could give the new Corvette Daytona prototype a win in your first time out with a two-time champion team, GAINSCO?
Well, it'd be fantastic. I've been fantasizing about hanging my arm out my pickup truck window with a Rolex on it for a number of years and driving through my neighborhood. So. But it would be great. It's I've had a great time in this series. Jim France, what he's done, and just what he's created here has just been fantastic for me for the last 6 or 7 years. It's been great. And seeing the GAINSCO guys out there, I've known Bob and seen Alex when they first started in the series, and then what the team has developed and turned into, and just to be a threat every time out there. It's just great. It's great to be with that kind of quality people, quality drivers. Fantastic team owner, and just overall, just great situation.
Well, welcome aboard. Good to have you. Alex Gurney was part of the 2008 effort with Jimmy, John, and Jimmy Basser, who was a fourth driver then. We're going with the trio as we did last year, this year again. Second place finish that year, AG. Got a brand new car that definitely is racy enough to do it. How cool would it be, especially 50 years after your father won the very first race, to score a win in the 50th Rolex 24?
Right, yeah, that would be an amazing day. I think 50 years, that seems like so long. My dad probably wouldn't believe he's that old, but obviously there's a big connection there, and I love watching the old videos of him rolling across the line, going about a mile an hour when he won that first race. And wow, what an accomplishment I think it would be for all of us on the team to come back and do it again here 50 years later. Wanted to say about Mamo, we're super happy that he was available, and I really think he's the perfect choice, perfect fit for our team. Very experienced and obviously very quick, and he's been a friend you know, off and on through the years, and he fit right in as soon as he showed up on the racetrack with us.
John, two-part question for you. You come from the Bay Area, the greater Bay Area, just like Mamo does, but you and AG also have similar career paths on the ladder up. Came along a few years after Mamo in the Atlantics, but you certainly knew about him then when you guys got there. And talk about how that's a good training ground to come on up with some of the open wheel single seater stuff you did, but also talk about any memories you have racing against Mamo. You ever hit him, he hit you? Talk about the stuff that's not going to happen.
Yeah. For sure, you know, the three of us up here as drivers all had a similar trajectory in our career paths, and like you said, Mamo a couple years ahead of Alex and myself, but you know, it was cool. We obviously knew who he was, and having been from the West Coast, and just yeah, I recall, you know, he's raced so many different things, so sometimes it's a little bit hard to keep track of him, but I just remember him jumping in the Ganassi car back in the day when Champ Car was just unbelievably difficult and competitive, and the cars were absolute monsters, and kicking butt as soon as he set foot in that car, and that was really neat to see. But yeah, we've crossed paths here and there in the Rolex series, but like Bob says, he's a smart and heads-up driver, and you know, we've not ever had a run-in or anything like that, so definitely no animosity or anything coming into the race weekend. But his Rolex experience is one of the reasons why he's such a great addition for this year. You know, to win the 24, it's important just to have experience and to be heads up. And he doesn't need to prove anything. He's beyond that, and just a great addition to the team.
We'll queue up for questions, but while we do that, we'll ask one for Mamo. Salt Lake City, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was an endurance race where it came down to you and another driver in the final couple laps back in 2006. Is that right?
That was my co-driver in the car at that point.
Talk about how it felt after a race like that in the dark to see all that happening and knowing that, look, we've been racing for 10 hours and you could barely see, but how cool was that race, and if you had a similar situation here with GAINSCO where the car is on the pointy end right at the end of the race, how good of a feeling is it in an endurance race?
Well, I think in just racing in general, endurance makes it even that much more, because there's so much preparation that goes in from a team standpoint, you know, the work that goes in, the preparation, and just in general, I think that's something that the average person really doesn't realize, you know, that you just see someone on the podium and it just sort of happens like that. But in reality, the longer the race, the longer the grind, and the bigger the payoff in the end. So for us that weekend, it was fantastic. It came right down to the end, and we had a great run, and you know, I'm confident we're going to do the same. I think everybody on the GAINSCO team is, you know, obviously very prepared, and as I told Bob, I was ready last year, I was ready last month, and I'm ready right now, so it's going to be a good weekend.
Well, thank you very much, and again, that was a great effort for your team, and we're glad to have you back in GAINSCO. JJ's got a quick question for Alex, I believe.
Yeah, you were the first out today. What's your thoughts on the new Corvette, how it compares to the old car, and how do you think it'll do in the Rolex 24?
Actually, first impressions are really good. You know, we did that short shakedown, so we got a little feel for it, but not on a track that, you know, we had any data from. So this is the first time on a track where we have been before. So it definitely feels different, and we're getting used to the, you know, the aero configuration. That's the, you know, obviously the big difference for this car. But first impression is really positive, I would say. So I think it's as fast as it looks.
What's our schedule, AG, for the rest of today? And then we're also going to be here tomorrow, I believe, if that's still the plans with Rick Ware Racing. Who's next? What do we do this afternoon?
I think Mamo is going to get in next, and you know, we're just going to keep working on the balance and make sure no big reliability issues come up.
Very good.